Right, this time the Quick Speed Shop, check it out. We're talking about fluid film or lanolin or surface shield, WoolWax, whatever you want to use, your material of choice. But it's time to rust proof for the winter time. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks how I load the gun, what I use to pump it from a 5-gallon bucket into the gun. I'll show you different areas on a vehicle. I got two vehicles here I'm going to show you. Both have been sprayed since they're new. That's the key. Get it before you run it through the winter the first time. You stop the rust before it starts. And it's a GMC pickup with about 50,000 miles on it. Absolutely no rust underneath. Been sprayed, I think this will be the 4th year. Then we got this gray Honda back here that's got about 50,000 miles on it. That's been sprayed with Surface Shield. The first truck was sprayed with fluid film. And we've got both down here. I can show you the different products. But you want to spend all your money on your new vehicles. You don't want to waste it on junk, and you don't want it to turn into junk. Spend a little bit of money and get some lanolin, and we'll go over some tips and tricks today of how to apply it. All right, here's my spraying rig here, and the secret, get yourself a 5-gallon bucket of fluid film. It's like $200, and if you're going to be doing your vehicle multiple years, the stuff lasts forever. It's too hard to get it out of the gallon jug. It's not a good, easy way to pour it. You're getting all over your hands and stuff. The 5-gallon bucket's the way to go. Go to Harbor Freight, get yourself an oil transfer pump. It goes down. It's got a wand in it that goes down into the goo, and it comes with this, the oil transfer part, and it pumps very easily. Just cut a hole in the bucket. This thread's in here, thread it into the top of the bucket lid, and then take this and drill a hole and stick it in there when you're done so it drains back into the bucket. Take the lid, take the ring off the top, take the O-ring out of it. That way you can transfer it to every new 5-gallon bucket that you use, and it works out great. I've been using the same oil pump from Harbor Freight for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now. The fluid film doesn't hurt it. It works great. And when you want to fill up your fluid film gun, you just take off your little quart jug here. It slimed me. And take it like this. Just get your pump. Look at that. Boom. It's pumping. And it pumps it like gangbusters here. Boom. Now this 5-gallon bucket's almost kicked. You hear it pumping a little bit of air there. I gotta tap a new one, but you do that, it's gonna run out of it just a little bit. That's the hole is for. You go boop and put it right back in there. Bam. Oh, I missed. Look at that. Get in there. So no mess, no fuss, as long as you can not shoot a video and spill it everywhere. But if you're actually paying attention, you can just go like that, fill up your quart jug. Really easy to do, and we're ready for action now. So in this video here, I'm going to show you some tricks for shooting fluid film or WoolWax or Surface Shield, whatever you want. I've done several videos on actually rust-proofing vehicles. I did a 4-year comparison video between two vehicles, one that had been sprayed with fluid film and one that hadn't. That's been pretty popular on the channel. And today I've got two vehicles that I've sprayed, both of them since new. A GMC Canyon with about 50,000 miles on it, and some kind of Honda SUV thing with about 40 to 50,000 miles on it. Both, the secret is spray them before the first winter. That's the #1 rule. Don't wait 2 or 3 winters and then start applying fluid film. The rust and the salt has already invaded the vehicle and started the corrosion process. Get them when they're brand new. If you're going to spend $60,000 on a vehicle, spend $200 on a gallon of fluid film, or a 5-gallon bucket of fluid film. Spend like $70 on a gun and spray your vehicle or have somebody spray it. It's well worth the $150 a year somebody's going to charge you to spray it to prevent rust and to save your $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 vehicle investment if you buy some kind of King Ranch blah blah diesel truck or whatever. It's well worth it. Put the rust prevention on it right away. All right, now we're out here looking at the truck. This is like 3 years of application on this truck. It's a GMC AT4 whatever they are. Canyon. It's like the S10, or not the S10, it's like the Colorado, but it's a Canyon. So this is a General Motors product, and it gets driven all winter. And this, the key to fluid film or anything like lanolin is to get it before the first winter. So I've sprayed this 3 years in a row, inside and out, and it gets driven all through the years. It's probably got, I don't know, how many miles are on this thing? about 60,000 miles on this truck. Let's go back here. We'll look at the rear frame section. I don't see any rust here. I spray the frame inside and out. Now if I go over here, I'll show you the coating if we can see it here. I'll take it, and you see that? It's got a pretty good mill thickness build up. There's the original paint of the frame back in there. So it's got a good mill thickness build up. We'll take a look. I'll do the tailgate. There's no rust in the tailgate. The tailgate seam is good all the way through there. Do inside the doors. We'll take a look at the doors here. Now one thing Lanolin does, it does make rubber products swell up. So you notice the door seal has got some swelled up edges to it. That's just cosmetic. It doesn't hurt anything. I'd rather be looking at swelled rubber than rusted doors. Here's the bottom of the door. All coated. There is absolutely zero rust anywhere there. And we'll go look under the truck. Under the truck here, look at the frame. Got a little bit of surface rust on the emergency brake rod for some reason, but absolutely no rust on the frame rails anywhere down through here, inside or out. No rust in the rockers. You see the buildup there, coated on really heavy. All the way down, it's got excellent coating. It looks like an animal was nibbling on it, like a woodchuck or something. Look at that weird marking there. But absolutely zero rust anywhere on this truck. A little bit of surface rust over there on the differential where the drive shaft would spin. It's aluminum drive shaft, so that doesn't matter. But look at the far side of the frame over there, mint. Under the front of the truck, even the control arms, you can see there is some wear on the front where just wear and tear of weeds and stuff like that, and has worn it off the bottom. That's why I recoat every year, but no rust anywhere that I can see. Even hardly any surface rust started anywhere on this thing. Obviously the brake calipers are not coated because they want to get on the brakes and they have normal rust. The entire chassis would look like that brake caliper if it wasn't sprayed with the fluid film. All down here coated really good on the frame. You don't see any rust in any of these seams or anything there. Look how good that is. Inside the cross members looks good. Inside the rockers, you can pull the rubber plugs out, but the rockers have zero rust. We've got just a little bit of worn away primer on here with a little bit of surface rust, probably from the summertime, from when the tires blast the coating off there. But we'll reapply. You can see up inside the rocker panel, see that yellow in there? It's got good coverage inside the rocker panel. But absolutely zero rust under this truck. And this thing gets driven year-round in the salt. It looks unbelievable under here. So this GMC Canyon, great coverage. The secret is I spray inside the doors and underside the hood, inside the frame, outside the frame, rocker panels, take the rubber plugs out, and this thing is mint condition. In the wintertime, you don't want to go constantly through a car wash with a bottom blaster because it will remove the fluid film and stuff like that. I suggest in the wintertime going to like a coin-op car wash, maybe spraying the outside off, get the salt off the outside of the vehicle, or hose it off with a garden hose. Don't do anything that blasts the bottom of the chassis really, really hard because it will take some of the fluid film off. Or you can use WoolWax or Surface Shield, any of the Lanolin products. But this truck is a great example. If you get them when they're new, and they'll last forever. All right, now I've got a different vehicle on the lift. I've got a Honda some kind of big Honda SUV. And I've also sprayed this vehicle since it was new. The secret is to get these things when they are new. Let's try to see how many miles are on this. I know what it'll tell me. 48,000. So this vehicle's got just about 50,000 miles on it as well. Oh, now it's talking. What's wrong with keys? Why do they got all these cars all this fancy nonsense? Here, go away. Just shut off. Where is it? Here's another one of my tips. Use an old cloth or piece of plastic or anything. Cover up the windshield so you don't get fog, the fluid film, or the WoolWax, or the rust shield, surface shield. It makes a fog and it blows around. So I am using Surface Shield by PB Blaster on this vehicle because the owner provided it. But usually I use fluid film. I like the way the fluid film sprays. I think it sprays a little bit better than the Surface Shield. It gets a little more mist and going like that. Fluid film right there. But this vehicle has been sprayed exclusively with Surface Shield. And you can see it holds on really good. And I'm not going to do a whole like spray video. I've done plenty of those before, but this is more like an update video and see what it looks like. I think the clingability, if that's a term, of the Surface Shield is pretty good compared to fluid film or WoolWax. It seems to stay on really well. Like, obviously you can see I do the doors and jams and everything. Now you can just wipe this off. If you don't like it, you can wipe off whatever you don't want there. But it will collect dirt and bugs and stuff. But a little greasy, grimy action is better than rust. So I pull the plugs out, I blow it inside the doors, I blow up the drains and stuff like that. I'll show you a little bit with the gun, but we'll go underneath this vehicle. Like I said, I've sprayed this thing since brand new. Now, I'm not sure how this vehicle goes through the car wash, but you can see there is a ton of Surface Shield left on everything. Just like the GMC pickup, I don't see any rust at any of the seams. It's still, the only rust that's on there is like on the brake caliper, some surface rust in the steering knuckle, because I try not to get on the brakes, obviously. But we got aluminum control arms, but look over here, we've got good clingability. There's some factory undercoating, but I've sprayed up inside the frame rails. It looks like it's sticking to everything very, very well, making a hard coating of goo and Surface Shield. You can see up here, we got a tiny little bit of surface rust right here on the carrier bearing, which this has got a lot of movement, so it probably throws it away. But looking back at the rear suspension, everything is dark and coated with film of Surface Shield and dirt. I don't see any rust anywhere. On the back there, I don't see any rust on the underside of the car. So like I said, the best time to spray a vehicle with any type of lanolin rust prevention is when it's brand new. Don't run it through the winter for a couple of years. The salt gets in it immediately and it starts to rust from the inside. Whatever you do, definitely don't get any like Zbart or rubberized undercoating sprayed at the dealer or whatever like that on the bottom of the vehicle. An aftermarket coating like Zbart, will use the example. They just coat the entire bottom of the vehicle with rubber, and then anything that gets above it gets trapped in the seams, and if you have them reapply it, they just go right over the existing rubber. They lock in moisture, salt, debris. Every single vehicle I've fluid filmed that had been sprayed with Zbart originally is a ball of rust underneath, and I wish I had one here to show you, but I've done other videos on fluid film and Zbart. Actually, I did a Chevy Colorado that had been Zbarted, and it was so bad it actually rusted through the frame. We had to fix the frame on the truck. Just it locked, the entire driver's side frame rail is full of garbage. So anytime a rubberized undercoating, Zbart, anything like that is a extreme no-no. Don't pay for it at the dealer. I've seen it destroy more cars. If you don't believe me, go to South Main Auto Channel and see what Eric's got to say. He won't even work on vehicles that have been Zbarted because they're such rust pieces of crap that everything is a mess to work on. So lanolin is the way to go. I mean, I would rather work on a grungy, oily something like this. It looks like it's just got an oil leak. There's no rust or nothing. I'd rather work on this with gloves on and a little rag action than a ball of rust. So we'll just do this door here. What I do is I go my wand inside the door and I hit it. You can see it start to come out of that seam. And I'll go to the drains in the center here. Just blow some up in the door, and then this door has a front seam. I'm sorry, a drain. And then I'll hit the whole door. Oh, you're seeing a little bit of white. I got some moisture and fluid film mixed into this. That's the fluid film coming out because I just switched guns. That's not a big deal. It's all lanolin, so it doesn't really matter. The front door doesn't have that hole, but it's got drains. So we can shoot it up the drain. So up there's the center plug, actually. But the drain is good enough. We'll hit the drains. And you can see, just like the rubber of fluid film, the Surface Shield makes the rubber swell up a little bit. We're getting a little bit of cross-contamination with our different products, but that's fine. Doesn't hurt nothing. It'll all be the same thing. I'm just going to go take my gun. I spray it at max air pressure, which is, I don't know, set to probably about 90 psi to blow it in there and get it everywhere. I use this gun. I got it from Sport products right there on the handle. And got the 1 quart jugs. I also do fluid film black. I'll have a different plastic jug for black, but it's very simple. All right, I've been spraying away under here. Let's take a look. See how covered everything is here? All shiny. And then we go over here to see the flatness. That's a spot that hasn't been covered yet, so I'm just going to blast her. And you just want to go till you get a nice, almost like the milky coloring. I put it on pretty heavy just because the material, I'd rather have too much than not enough. Like you see the spare has got a liberal amount on it. I'd rather hammer it on there than not have enough and have it be thin later. But obviously you can see I got some on the exhaust. You just don't want to like spray the crap out of the exhaust. It'll just burn off and fog off. It's not going to hurt anything, but obviously don't just spray it on the exhaust to coat it or anything. And also engines, like oil pans, I tried to do oil pans, but the engines get too warm and it melts off the oil pan, so don't bother to do it any engine components because it's too hot, it won't last. But you can see under here, got a great coating, and I've just been spraying along. The whole underside of the vehicle is coated. All right, under the hood here, it's getting dark. I know it's hard to see, but I've sprayed everything. The brake lines and everything are really important. Down inside the fender wells down there, inside the hood, the underside of the hood. Now, like I said, I spray everything very good to get maximum. Rust is your enemy, so I'll take grungy over rusty any day. Got the brake booster in there, the brake lines on the firewall back there coated. Tried to get under there. It's very tough on these new vehicles that are coated in plastic to get everything. I've taken this off before and got under the core support. Inside the hood, basically you gotta coat everything, but we got very good coverage, inner fender wells, brake lines, top of the strut towers, all that stuff. Places where rust happens, we've got it sprayed. Another tip is, if you're spraying like from the vehicle front to back, turn around and go from back to front. That way you get both sides. If you go down like frame rails and stuff, you can only get one side of it, and the front or the back could be thin. So I do all a pass down one way, and I turn around, I come do another pass all the way back. That way it gets both sides of everything coated very good. I'm losing the light here, but this is just a couple tips and tricks for spraying lanolin-based undercoating, rust proofing, whatever you want to call it. Now, obviously you can see I've got some safety glasses on to keep it out of my eyes because of the compressed air. You can wear a respirator or like a 3M type dust mask with a little ventilator on it, or a full respirator. The stuff is non-toxic, especially the fluid film is just lanolin. It's just the stuff on cheap WoolWax. It's non-toxic. There's no chemicals in it. The surface shield might have some additives. I'm not exactly sure what's in that, but it's mostly lanolin and could have a little bit of like petroleum distillate in it. I'm not sure. But obviously, if you're in a confined space, I like to do this outside. If you do it inside a shop with especially with a coated concrete floor, the mist will settle to the floor and make your floor extremely slippery. Plus the fog will get on everything else. So I spray it outside on my ramp system here, and it works out great for me. All the mist just goes right away outside. But it is all natural. It's not motor oil. It's not, kerosene or anything like that. It is a completely biodegradable natural material, these lanolin-based products, so they don't hurt anything. They don't hurt the ground. All they do is repel moisture, just like on sheep. So I'm not using a respirator just for this video so I can talk clearly and can hear me, but I usually wear one. Even being outside, I wear one because you don't want to inhale 58 gallons of this stuff. But it is a natural substance that will not hurt you in normal quantities. Tip here, you see I'm wearing this like old Tyvek suit. Get yourself like a pair of throwaway coveralls or a cheap painter suit from like Harbor Freight or whatever. This is actually like a professional clean suit, but it doesn't seep through this stuff. This is really durable material, but the goo will get everywhere. Obviously you can see how filthy this thing is from laying under vehicles and the grunge under them. Just you're gonna it's gonna ruin some good clothes. So I have a dedicated outfit that I wear when I spray this, and I wear gloves just because it gets everywhere. I touch everything and just take the gloves off. But you can do it barehanded. It's not going to hurt your skin. It's completely natural. It's not going to hurt anything. I just do this so I don't get lanolin all over my garage and everything I touch. So I hope that was some tips and tricks for you. How I use the 5-gallon buckets and the Harbor Freight drum pump. That works really good, or oil transfer pump, whatever it's called. That works really well. You've seen 2 vehicles that I've sprayed since new. Both have 50,000 miles on them. Both are 99.9% rust-free, even though they get driven. They sit outside. They get driven through salt all winter long. When you're washing underneath the vehicle, don't take it to a car wash in the winter with a bottom blast. That'll wash some of the lanolin off, the protection off in the winter. Just hose it off like a garden hose or whatever like that. The stuff repels moisture, and when the moisture is repelled, it takes the salt with it. And get up inside every single crevice you can find, every single hole in the door, any hole in anything, stick the wand in there, spray it around rocker panels, especially all the pieces underneath, inside suspension components. Basically anything that's not brakes, engine, and exhaust, I spray with fluid film. Even under the hood, I'll show you that here. I showed you that on this car. So I coat everything with it. And if you don't like it in an area, you can just wipe it off. It comes off that easy. So go out there and protect your vehicle with some lanolin. Get yourself a spray rig, and for less than $300, you can spray your vehicle multiple years if you have the air compressor to do it. The gun's like less than $100. A 2-gallon or a 5-gallon bucket of fluid film is $200. A 5-gallon bucket of Surface Shield's about $350, $360. I prefer fluid film. I can get it locally right at the Napa. It's very easy to get, and I go through about 15 gallons a year, and it works out great. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Keep those cars rust-free with fluid film or Surface Shield or WoolWax or whatever you want to use, lanolin-based rust protection.